Yeah, hello and welcome to the Banter Blitz show for May 1st. Sorry, my voice is a little bit off there. I think these are the first words that I'm speaking today. That's always a bit tricky. So let's get rolling and start a game, and then we can talk a little bit about this slightly uncommon starting time. Is that right? I think it looks good. Microphone is on. I hope you hear and see me all right. I think it should be the case. So let's get started. Let's go 93. Let's do that. Yeah, this is the English language show. There's a German show coming tomorrow. I think tomorrow at 2, if I'm not mistaken. I mean 2 European time, Central European time. Yeah, the 12 show today is a little bit uncommon and a little bit unplanned. Usually it was planned that I should start a little bit later, around 2 as well. But then, as it happens, Magnus wanted to do a banter show like out of nowhere. And that means I have to adjust, which is kind of understandable. So Magnus is doing a banter show at 2. That would have been my spot, and he's taking this spot now, and I'm adjusting, doing this show a little bit earlier, playing the warm-up, so to say. Okay, what's going on here? I can take the pawn on a7. Is there a problem with that? I never really like to take those pawns. I always feel like I shouldn't do that, but it's kind of tempting. So I'm taking the pawn. He simply did not react to me attacking it on a7. Okay, I should also activate the chat in on all the other platforms like Twitch and YouTube. What's going on? Sorry, I was wrong with my prediction. Yes, yeah. I remember. There was a question during my last show about what I would think about the matches Carlsen Giri and MVL Alireza. It was completely wrong, right? I knew that I was saying 3-1 for Magnus, which obviously did not work out. I honestly don't quite... what is the right word? I'm not sure it... if this is the right word. If I understand what Magnus is doing in this tournament, some of the choices seem strange. And the match against Giri was also a little bit strange. I mean, Giri won this match very convincingly, and he easily could have won even higher. So it's a bit strange. At times, I think Magnus is playing at his usual and really phenomenal strength, and sometimes I don't quite understand what's going on. Yeah, 3h5 yesterday was a bit odd. I got this funny tweet that I should update the Fight Like Magnus course with 3h5. I mean, I cover this variation, obviously. I mean, the Rossolimo I do cover. And then he played 3h5. He has played 3g5 in Banter Blitz scenarios, or in games that were kind of unimportant offhand games online, let's say. But I mean, g5 at least has... I mean, this is not a good move, but it has kind of a point, at least has some trickery, while h5 just looks nuts. Yeah, but what can you say? I mean, Everybody is entitled to play what you want to play, and that's what he did. Okay, now in this game I have an extra pawn, but it's not yeah, at all easy to see how to convert this. I'm just going to play knight a2 and trade off the rooks. I'm not sure if this is right, to be honest. Oh, I've got an interesting question in the Twitch chat. Everyone either hates or loves the French defense. What is my opinion? Now here I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of it. I have a love-hate relationship with the French defense. I personally, I don't play it well. I have tried to play it for years with black, because I always thought that the closed nature of the positions should be something that is good for me, for my strength in chess. Like usually I'm pretty good at planning and yeah, thinking in general terms about chess, not so much in terms of calculation. But I never could play it. I was really terrible with the French defense. But I really think it leads to very intriguing and interesting positions. So it is something that is not for me, obviously, because my score was so abysmal. But when you see people playing it, and if they know what they're doing, I think it makes a really compelling point. Like if you look at older games, for example, from Morosevich, he was very strong with the French defense, had very creative ideas. Or you can also look at some of the stuff that Nepo nowadays gets on the board. Nepo, I cannot pronounce him, so I'm saying just Nepo. And this is very interesting. He gets interesting positions. I'm probably misplaying this here, right? Let me check this for a moment. I'm not really liking this so much. It's got knight a6 as well. It's a difficult technical task. My double pawn is not really that helpful in this position. I would like to play bishop d2 and b4, but it's kind of impossible to get this in. And this, I'm not sure. He probably just blocks it off, everything. Maybe f5. I don't see how to do this, really. Yeah, I sometimes wondered if I should make... Oh, that I'm going to do here, for sure. Okay, get to d6. He just blundered that away. I don't think I had good winning chances here before he blundered the b7 pawn. Even here, it's not super easy to win. If you look at this, not so easy. My knight is kind of stranded on b7. I can always go back to d6 like for a pawn, but I have no natural retreat. Difficult. Still difficult. Even though I'm 2 pawns up, it's not totally obvious. Okay, I can insert this one. And I have to go to d6, there's just nothing else. My idea was that I go bishop d4 at the end. I'm 2 pawns up, but it's still not so easy. So I'm shutting this. I just want more pawns on the board. So before he's got 96, it's really difficult. I'm not sure that I can win this. It looks like a blockade. I'm trying to get here. Okay, now I can go to d4, but he goes back to c6. That might just be a draw. Yeah, I cannot really do much here. I mean, black also cannot play for a win. I don't think so. Not sure if this helped what he did here. It's probably still not much going on. King d5 b4 though. If he has to go back, I won on time. I actually didn't pay attention to the clock at all. And this was interesting because even though I was a pawn up, it didn't mean much. Even when I was 2 pawns up, it didn't mean much. Yeah, so well defended here by Dr. Baloo. Okay, now, do we have any new challenges? EDH3 is challenging me. Let's go. Yes, I have, back in the day when I was playing the French defense, I had the John Watson books. They are kind of legendary material. Even though, like from today's perspective, I'm not sure how much you can still use them because they were all pre-computer era, and even back then they had some problems. I remember very vividly that I played the German national championships in 1998, a long time ago. And back then I used the Play the French book by Watson, and I played one of his recommendations without checking it really. Like, just that was pre-engine days. No? I didn't even have an engine installed on my computer because it was just not that time. Yeah, where we had like early versions of Fritz and so on, but they were so weak that really people didn't use it all that much. And I used one of Watson's recommendations, played that, and then my opponent over the board, a good grandmaster, he just totally refuted that. I mean, and that was a total nightmare of a game. And to what I have to say is, like, after that game, that I still continued to play the French shows some kind of degree of masochism, probably. Fortunately, I don't suffer from that in other regards, but playing the French defense so long was kind of odd. Anyway, let's get to this game. Here we see why the closed Catalan can be very problematic for black. Here I got the dark squared bishops traded, and at the end of the day installed this fantastic knight on d6. This is just fantastically strong. And now with a3 I'm stopping knight b4. I plan b4, and the main thing is that the knight on d6 is just so awfully strong. Now okay, if I go b4, I have to reckon with with knight c3 and potentially knight e2. That is actually a bit of a problem. So I'm just covering this. Absolutely, 1998 was the year after Deep Blue won against Kasparov. But Deep Blue back in the day was like a huge mainframe computer, right? Something like that filled up a whole room. And you have to see that at that time the processing power in desktop computers or notebooks was just a lot lower, and it was just it's tough to say. The engines were probably already quite strong, but it was just not part of what you did, at least not on a regular basis. And nowadays, in that particular in that particular case, what Watson recommended, you were just like lost, and the computer would show it immediately, which is not. I don't want to diss him or anything. Writing chess books in the pre-computer era was just so difficult. So, and it's not like obvious. I mean, I didn't see it either. I mean. And at the time, I was like a stronger player than Watson was, so I didn't see it either. So with rook d1, rook d2, bishop d2, and so I managed to get out of this knight c3 thing. So he's defending this quite well after having the initial problems. He still has problems, but it's not like immediately lost. Okay, what to do about the queen? Rook e1. Yeah, the queen is still pretty good here. Maybe queen b2, trying to trade it, something like that. I could also take with the b1 rook. Just don't get into the forks. No, I don't think so. There's a remark in the YouTube chat. I'm a typical German cynic. I think I'm worth complaints and then I'm beating you. No, really not. I'm a natural optimist and usually think I'm better, even if I'm not better. I mean, I'm not unobjective. It's just like I tend to be wrong on the positive side of the spectrum. So what about this? Bishop to b5. Huh. Tja. I wonder if I should just take on d5. I wonder if this is a good idea. It's a little bit odd. Let's do that. My idea was this. I'm not sure if it's good, yeah? Get the knight to d4 and always have a look at this pawn. Maybe this is not a good thing to play. I don't know. I'm a bit unsure about this. So a question, when did I start playing chess? I started... I was taught the rules pretty early on, maybe when I was 7 or 8, but I never played really. But I know that the rules I learned pretty early on, but I only started to play for real when I was like 12 or 13, and then joined a chess club when I was 14, and it was going from there. So I was a pretty late starter. Yeah, the knight on d6 was strong. It's just like sometimes you need to think about how you can actually make progress. Like you need to sometimes transform advantages, one advantage to the other. Again, I'm not sure that this was good. And now that I look at this a little bit more closely, maybe it wasn't so good. I mean, I feel I'm still better, but it's nothing, as they say, to write home about. He still is kind of tied to that pawn on c6. Yeah, I have my North Sea Cup that I bought at the coast. I hope that I will see this place again this year, as we probably all hope that we can get out of our places and have some vacation. Knight f5 was missed. Really? Was that something really good? I didn't see it. Now, how do we go from here? I need to enter somehow with the rook. I don't know how, though. It's actually really well played by black here. Really? I could fork somewhere. Probably not yet totally awake. Anyway. Maybe you can just play rook e6 now that I think of it. So I try to transform this again, having the more active rook, but All in all, I'm not really happy with this game. It looks, some of my decisions were probably pretty odd and not good. Yeah, now it works out. He has lost the plot. Should have prevented my king from invading. Yeah, that was well defended by EDH3. Thanks for the game. Now, Sigvar. I've played him before, but let's play. I've got black. Is their name in there? No. Norway is always kind of... You never know, yeah? Magnus likes to troll with some accounts, but it's not him, I guess. So, but I can play the Sveshnikov as Magnus usually does when he plays the Sicilian. He's not playing today, right? Today is the semi. What is the other semi? Naka versus Caruana, right? Nakamura Caruana. Yeah. Another question about the French. Have GMs and IMs stopped playing the French because the top engines have refuted it? No, I don't think so. I think that there are a couple of things in play there why the French is not played so often. I don't think that there's like a concrete line or something that refutes it. Definitely not refutes it, but I think that it is generally viewed as a sometimes somewhat risky way of playing, because you give up quite a bit amount of space, which is valued very highly nowadays. In particular, if you think about a structure with the pawn coming to e5. Okay, so what's going on here? I cannot take it because of queen h5, but I can take e3, yeah? And then continue to develop. It gives up a lot of space, and this is generally viewed with a bit of suspicion nowadays in top level chess. You don't like to give up space. And also many players with black, they are happy with neutralizing white's advantage, let's say that natural white advantage. They're happy to just, let's say, kill the game off, and the French is completely unsuited to do that. If you play, for example, and this is the prime example, the Berlin in the Rui, you have you have a very solid position, and white is not getting anywhere really. And this is, for example, very tempting. They say, okay, with black I'm going to simply stop white from going anywhere, and with white I'm pressing. This is one thing. Or you can also say, if you want to have a more complicated fight, you could play a Sicilian, like the Najdorf or the Sveshnikov. Those are the two most let's say respected Sicilians nowadays. So the incentive to play the French is mostly to get a fight, but people often think on the top level that they fight from a slightly worse position because of the space disadvantage. And you don't have a space disadvantage in the Sicilian or in e4, e5 in particular. So I think this is the reasoning. It's not like it's bad. Yeah. Okay, now something about this game. I managed to play d5. This is one of the main goals in the Sveshnikov. When you get this in, you're fine, and I'm definitely fine here. I'm having this extra center pawn on e5, which is nice, and it's not so clear what white's plan is in this position. h5 looks like a good move. So many things that I could try. I wouldn't mind an endgame. Bishop here maybe. Let's try that. Yes, there was a question if I recently lost to a woman in in the chess.com speed chess event. Yes, I played the first round match against Alina Kashninskaya. She's, I think, number 13 or 14 in the female only rating list. She's close to 2,500 actually. The YouTube chat gets it a little bit too low. She has 2 GM norms, so she will get the GM title eventually. This is not really a question. And I also think she will get to the final probably. She's stronger than the opponent. But of course it's blitz, bullet, and so on, so you never really know. But if you would force me to bet money, I would bet money on Alina getting to the finals in that event. Okay, so what do I think about the dragon for black? It's a specialist opening. If you want a really sharp game and you're not afraid to invest a bit of time, then why not? I think that white is probably somewhat better, but this is not something that deters most people. When they play the dragon, they want action. Okay, no, this is not 5 minute only. It's just like I wasn't even aware that it was only 5 minutes so far, but I prefer it a little bit because I have a little bit more time to talk, but it's not mandatory at all. You can challenge me in 3 minutes as well. Now, how do I make any headway here? Don't know. I try to find something here to make progress. I don't see it though. F4 is always rook e4. That's really annoying. Yeah. I mean, I can try that. Rook f6, h6. Okay. That is probably not bad. What if I know f4 is still a bad move? I mean, what happens? Can I do that? I mean, I can do that, but is it good? John is still regularly streaming actually on Twitch. So just follow John Bartholomew on Twitch and he has regular streams on. So it is not as regular as he did, but this is not due to any kind of restriction. It's just like, I mean, I met John just a couple of weeks ago. Not a couple of weeks is wrong. Early, kind of, you lose the sense of time with Corona somehow. In Weikernsee, in January, I met him, and he's just super busy teaching. He has an insane amount of students. I wouldn't even manage to do that. I mean, I don't know how he does it, but and this means he just doesn't have the time to do many streams nowadays. So this is crazy, this position. Yeah, this is a strong move. It's a strong move, really. Okay, c6 is not yet a threat because of bishop f3. He pins me with rook a6 at the end. This is a pain. I didn't see that. Okay. I just have to see that my own pawn is doing the job, and somehow it does. That was lucky. Yeah, thanks for the game, Sigwa. I don't think I deserve to win that. It was just messy. Yeah, John is really super busy teaching. I mean, I'm not sure what he said, but it was crazy amount of students. And he loves what he does. He just loves to teach. And this is something that you have to see people, if they are kind of overrun, or let's say, if you get lots of work, opportunity, doing the stuff that you absolutely love to do, then you just do it. And for him, it's teaching. He also loves to stream, but it's like this is what he wants to do. And I have the same thing, but with writing. Yeah, I mean, I love to write courses on Chessable and like make print books later, stuff like that. It's just what I love to do, and this is what I devote my time on, really. So this is why I'm not streaming more or doing other things. And also I have a very limited teaching time. I still have 2 regular students. And I used to have 15 to 20 when I was not writing all that much. So I have again, a typical closed Catalan position. When black gets in c5 under good circumstances, he should be fine, but it's not clear that it's possible. Queen c8 maybe for c5 could be an idea. Bishop d6, I would take place c5. We had this before. Yes, Andrew Tang was at the time John's student, that's true. But they haven't done anything for quite a while. Okay, so I'm taking this, and now I would like to get the c5 in, but it's not possible right away, so I'm going knight e5 first. Okay, now, is he going c5? Probably. I don't think he could ever play c5 in this game. How do we play this? Interesting. I mean, I can do this and say if you go c5, I'm just quicker on the d file. This is one way to do it. So he can play c5, technically speaking. It doesn't blunder material, but it would open up the d file. Would open up the d file. So if I take on b7, take on c5, I will have I have the file. Okay, let's do that. I have the d file. I just wonder what to do now. Queen takes, rook takes, what's better? Rook takes, probably. Okay, so what now? I have the file, but what next? Knight e4 is something that has to be taken into account. Sometimes knight e4, g5, stuff like that. I don't quite see at the moment how I'm getting anywhere. It looks nice, but I don't see a way forward. I should move quicker, sorry. That made no sense at all. I should have played this a lot quicker. Now I'm probably getting into some time trouble. Okay. He's fine. I have exposed my king position here quite a bit. Okay, let's go into this ending. No, I'm not making a draw. Queen a5 is interesting, but I don't think he can do that. Now the c5 pawn is dropping. No, I did not watch the movie about AlphaGo. I heard that it was interesting. I think Peter Heine Nielsen told me about it, that it was a good one, or told me it's wrong. I think he posted it on Twitter or something. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's get rolling. Russian Beast is challenging me. Okay, let's play. Go e5. Yeah, this is the Magnus line against Fabiano. And Magnus here elected to sacrifice the pawn. Okay, wow, that's a long time ago since I checked this. There's an interesting remark in the YouTube chat about Chessable, and the user says that the content is very good, but it is overpriced. Okay, what you have to see there is that Chessable is the absolutely only platform, that actually pays the author in a kind of reasonable way, that you can actually justify producing the good content. I do produce good content because I do that full time. I can actually, I mean, yesterday I literally spent the whole day working on my new course, really the whole day. And I didn't do anything else really. And the thing is that I can only do that because the product is priced in a way that they absolutely give the author the opportunity to spend that time. I could not ever write just a print book because the payment is so abysmal, it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. I mean, and I'm not talking about, I don't want to buy a Ferrari, you know. I just want to pay my bills and pay my apartment and stuff like that. And the same thing applies to other platforms. If you, I mean, I don't know. It's just what it is. The pricing is just done in a way that it works for the author as well. This is why many books are not good, because people just cannot afford to invest the time. Like the authors cannot afford the time. This is not a good position. This is not a good position. He played this well, really. I think I can take here. I mean, you have to see, and this is not, I'm not talking about anything that is kind of new here to somebody who's into this a little bit. The thing is, if you if you compare print to what Chessable does, with print you earn roughly 10 to 15%. The author earns 10 to 15% of what a book is costing the customer. Like you pay $30 and the author gets $2 to $2, $3, something like that. I mean, maybe you're not aware of that, but this is the normal thing that happens. So you can sell, let's say you write a book and you invest 3 months and then you sell like 2,000 books. This is not even, cannot even pay gas for that, you know? And this is the problem. And Chessable just pays the author what they need to be paid so that they can invest the proper time. This is just what it is. For me, Chessable is the way to write good chess content. There's no other way. It's just what it is. Okay, so I'm kind of hanging on in this game, even though I had huge problems. Attacking the knight. It's a tricky position here. But he's kind of in some sort of self-pin here. And his c-pawn is getting dangerous. I'm just taking. C-pawn is too quick. I'm a little bit behind on the clock, but should work. I have to be pre-moving. Yeah, I got this. Right. Okay. Yeah, thanks for the game Russian Beast. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the games more, but I like to answer some questions because sometimes people have a wrong perception how things work, really. And okay, I'm playing Triangulating King, right? The Triangulating King. Yeah, I think I screwed this up, letting his queen invading on f6. That was wrong somehow. But that was in the middle of my long and complicated explanation about authorship. Is that a word? Authorship or authoring chess content. I'm going to play Violina 18. I recently did not play here, her or him, I guess, if the avatar is any indication, and going to do that now. So knight f3, yeah, d4 is the best move here, I think. e3, knight c6 is fine. Can you tell us anything about the upcoming c4 course? Yes, yeah, I'm writing a c4 course for Chessable, and I'm in the middle of this one. I'm in the middle of the line selection process, so I'm currently not decided yet I'm not yet decided yet on some of the lines that I'm going to suggest. And this is what I'm currently working on. A c4 based repertoire is always tricky, similar to d4 knight f3 because of the millions of transpositions. So you have to basically have the whole thing lined out and only then start to write. The best German player from 1950s till today. Whoa, okay. Yeah, I mean, from the 50s on, probably the best German player was Wolfgang Unzicker. And then Hübner from the 70s on. I think it's not easy to do it's not easy to do to compare them in any way. Ullmann was also very strong. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sorry. I didn't think of him. Probably underestimated. He was a top 10 player for sure. Difficult, huh? Difficult position. I can go bishop c5 and have some threats, but king h1 is a bit odd there. The e4 pawn is probably not so strong. Bishop f5, there is g4, which is extremely annoying. Tja, I don't know. I go rook e8. I'm not happy. I just goes d3. Interesting. Okay. I thought taking on e4 was an option. Queen takes. I can simply take the pawn. I think on e5 take twice. He will definitely have compensation, for sure, but I don't really see what else. Knight on e5 is too strong. I have knight e2 here, right? He gets some material, but not enough. Okay, rook d1. Let's do this. Anticipate the coming rook d1 move. So I won the queen, which is nice, but you still have to win. Queen b6 check coming. Yeah, but I don't have an important thing to consider is that I don't have any particular weakness in my position. It looks a bit strange, this move, but I don't know if I can exploit it. I'm just going to strengthen my position a little bit. Yeah, is it an idea to take that? I think this is not bad. This opens up his king, and this should be generally quite helpful. So with the queen, you usually appreciate a weakened king, you know. So check maybe. My rook should invade. That would be good. King f2, queen c2 is good. Queen c2 is coming anyway. That was the point. Just be annoying with the queen. It's a good recipe. It's a funny material balance. Yeah, I've got queen and three queen and 3 pawns against three minor pieces, right? It's funny. Is this good? I don't know. It should be good, right? The bishop doesn't have good squares. I could have won a piece. Oh, queen h4. Yeah, if that was possible, it was probably strong. In all honesty, I was thinking about the question in the chat here, why Germany didn't have any super top class players or more in the 20th century. I think there are a couple of reasonable explanations. I think the most I think one important thing to consider is that I think generally countries that are rather wealthy, yeah, they tend to not produce that many top players, the wealthier nations, because the people who would be very strong at chess, they will often be also very strong in other fields. Yeah, for example, you can take somebody, let's say, like Ken Rogoff, if you know them. He's a top economist, and he was a very strong grandmaster. I mean, not a world-class player, but a very strong grandmaster. And he stopped playing to pursue an academic career. And I think this happens a lot, that you have very strong junior players, and then at some point they just say, okay, there's good money to be made elsewhere, let's do that. So and this is not necessarily a bad thing. And of course you have the counter example of Magnus, and I think the fact that Norway is rather wealthy helped there. So the parents could do that, take time off work and so on. But this is really a bit of an oddball case. Oddball case, is that good English? Probably not. Ken Rogoff, I think he was a top economist in the is that right, the World Bank or IWF or something. Yeah, thanks for the game, Violina 18. So Tar de Piast. Let's do that. Let's play. Let's play. Yeah, the UK is not an exception, because the people that you mentioned, only Adams and Short were world-class players. And yeah, but you're talking the absolute super high-end, and you get this sometimes, but you could argue that if you mention somebody like Timman for the Netherlands, that Hübner was just as strong, for example. I mean, they tend to have good players, but yeah, somehow they don't get world champion for some reason. Anyway, let's play this game. It's a pretty of an odd thing, a reversed Tarrasch. I will take here this is normally a good way to play, because after the capture d4 I get this back and I have a really nicely centralized position. It's a pretty well-known motif. Okay, that's a good move. How to do that? I don't like that bishop here. How do I develop my own bishop? Not easy. But he doesn't have a really great square for the queen either, so I maybe have time to play e6 and b6. Yeah, often the incentive for talents from less wealthy countries is higher to pursue chess, because the alternatives are not automatically more attractive. Okay, going to take that and complete my development. This is nice. I don't have a huge advantage or anything, but it is annoying for white. Maybe I do have an advantage, actually. It's very difficult for white to handle this position, because I get rook d8 next, and you kind of have no good square for the queen. It's pretty annoying. Knight on d4 is such a problem here. Okay, now how do we do that? There's always queen to c6. I'm going to first of all push this away and then see what's happening. Queen h4 maybe? No, it goes to g5. Queen c6 is a bit of an empty threat, it just has f3. But then I have knight c2 actually. Isn't that good? Let's do that. Threaten checkmate. f3 is kind of mandatory, I don't see what else. Ah, okay. So d8 is hanging, yeah? Okay. Maybe I can play f6. Interesting. I'm better if I just take, of course, but I'm wonder. Okay, this is a matter of time. Let's keep it simple. For time's sake, yeah, if I try to, let's say, solve this position, I'm probably losing on time. So, shouldn't do that. This is just going to be better for black. Maybe you're not... what a pain. Yeah, this is not so nice. Come on. Ah, silly pre-moves. Ah, my god. I totally screwed this up in the pre-moving. What a joke. Ah, that was awful. Oh, man. I mean, I was completely winning, of course, but then I totally screwed the pre-moving up. Like somewhere here, yeah, I spent... What did I do there? That was... This is 1.6 seconds. This killed me. I mean, king c4 is a totally automatic move. And that killed me at the end. It was a matter of 0 point something seconds. That was costly. That was really costly. Okay, what happens here? Who's challenging me? I'm going to play a couple of higher rated players. There's Fun Beat here. No need to apologize. Tarde Piast. It is like this typical hacking, yeah. A typical hacking at the end. Not much to do there. I just should be quicker. Yeah, and sometimes chess development in a country is pretty much dependent on single things. Let's say, yeah, that if I mean, US chess, for example, would look very different if it wasn't for Rex Singfield. Yeah, I mean that is just a totally different animal. Like he's pumping so much money into it. And it's just a totally different thing. Wait, b5 a4 knight fd2, knight fd2. Yeah, this is the Ding Magnus line, which I forgot totally. There's some c5 business, and it's very complicated. Ah, my god, I totally forgot how this works. Not like that, probably. This is often a problem, you know, because I'm always keen on writing new stuff that I tend to forget the things that I have written before. Like this is in Keep It Simple D4, and yeah, they put it in the Nick yearbook also, basically an excerpt from the book. And I totally forget my own analysis all of the time, which is a bit of a pain, really, sometimes, because you think you think that the author should know the lines that he has analyzed, which is true. You should know it, but it's just like I always look at new things, and then I'm always well, I analyze that once and then forget about it. Okay, so is this a bit better for white? Maybe. The queen side looks a bit weak. Bishop e3 I'm not so sure about, but I didn't want to take a very long time here. Yeah, I thought that the knights should be pretty good in this position. The knight on c4 in particular. Oh, somebody is cooking. One of my neighbors. This is... Oh. Smells very tasty. Okay, I don't know what it is, but it smells tasty. Okay, so yes, I take with the king. There's queen b7 check. I want to go to c4 anyway, and I want rook c1, knight c4 coming coming quickly. I'm not really hungry. I had a really good breakfast, but it is. I think it's this typical German food, something like, I mean, I'm not sure what it would be in English, but in German it is called Sauerbraten. something something like that. It's a kind of food that nowadays um, I never eat because I cannot cook it myself, and it's the kind of stuff that my grandma used to cook. This very traditional German food, and when you smell that, it's you think of the food, but you also have this memory association with eating at your grandma's, something like that. Okay, so this is a very nice position. Black is in a bit of trouble because of the space. I'm just expanding, and black has very little fun in this position. Just e5, I guess. Push him away. Yeah, knight coming to c6. This is a pretty much dream position. Catalan dream. Knight c6, I guess. Yeah, it's not a bad move. Rook c8. Yeah, I thought I'd just go back to a5. Maybe this isn't even best, huh? Yeah, but I got rook d7 next, so how bad can it be? Yeah, he might take a5. If I take on b6, that is not ideal. It's good for white, but still. Take. Huh. It's tough to figure out what the best way to play is here. I mean, this must be better for white, so let's do this. But it was maybe not the best. That is absolutely possible. Yeah, and very likely, actually, that it wasn't the absolute best. Not happy. Yeah, he's getting enormous play here. G4, F5. No, I misplayed that terribly. That was absolutely bad. I mean, black was already pretty much toast, and I let him back into the game. Absolutely not good. Going for counterplay there, but he's very quick. making a draw. I would be happy with that. I think I'm just losing here if he just pushes the b pawn. Okay. This is strong. This is strong. Awful. This is a bad game. Really, really hate this because it was just like a total dream position. And I should just win this without any hassle. And now I got this nonsense. Oh, awful. Really awful. And I have to check this a little bit because, I mean, how bad can you play? Probably I should just not take on b6. I mean, this move was very debatable. Maybe just rook d7. I don't know. I really played this terribly. Rook d7 maybe. Distracted by Sauerbraten. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, the problem here a little bit is that like everything is good for white, and then you I don't know, I went astray. Maybe rook d7. That could be good. Stop knight e7 and just go into the 7th. Tough, huh? I mean, it's tough to say what's best is the thing. I don't know. I don't want to take away time from more games. Is there anybody challenging me that I have not played before? I just want to check this a little bit because the time is a little bit uncommon. I do see the Twitch chat. I do see it. It's just like I look at 4 chats at the same time. 4. And sometimes I cannot see every single comment. So Anton, I see your comment, but it's kind of multitasking. So we are playing Tom 247. Yeah, it's 4 chats. I mean, 3 are active. There's a Facebook chat, which is usually not that active, but is there a link to Magnus Carlsen's Banter Blitz? Yes, it's on the left-hand side, Thomas, in your here on Chess24, when you have the list of shows. It's coming in 45 minutes. Yeah, this stream is on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Periscope. And there's a potential chat on all of them. Maybe not on Periscope. Nobody really watches on Periscope, I think. At least that's what I usually see. But Twitch and YouTube is fairly busy. Now here against Tom, I have a very typical pawn structure. I think Twitter is actually Periscope. This is the minority attack, and a pretty interesting, let's say, subversion. That's a very weird word. Yeah, a pretty particular version of it, maybe is the right way to say it. I try to attack d5 now because he never managed c6. So knight d3, knight f4 is the idea, and then I attack d5 with everything that I have. So here we go. one thing I know, Tom is not playing quickly. I'm taking this, right? I'm taking this. Why not? I think I can. Winning a central pawn is usually a good thing. Do that more often. It's a bit difficult to answer that question about the upcoming c4 repertoire, because I'm currently in the stage of selecting lines, and there are a couple of things that I'm considering. I think that compared to the existing c4 repertoire that is was available on Chessable and has a video series on Chess24, some lines will make a reappearance and some will be new. In general, I think it will be a little bit more mainline-ish, let's say, and more theoretically sophisticated, I think. Okay, thanks for the game, Tom. Who else is challenging me? RS Vovk, playing some higher rated guys. That one game was very costly. I was on 2840, yeah, something like that. What's going on? No g4? There was a question if I sometimes play crazy openings like the Bonk Cloud. Well, it depends. I sometimes sorry, I sometimes play really crazy stuff when I'm playing bullet games and I'm tilting, but it doesn't happen often. I try to avoid playing bullet usually. But I don't do it in Blitz, and because it's just like I'm an opening geek, always have been, and I like to try out things, for example, that I analyze and get some experience with that. And I have more fun figuring out serious stuff, let's say. But I don't really mind. People can do whatever they want. Let's say, I'm not saying if I'm not doing it, there's something wrong with doing it. This is what I'm trying to say. You can do whatever you want in your chess games. Can take knight e4 here, right? I thought rook d8 is a good reply, because I couldn't quite believe that rook d1 is something that white wants to try out. Surviving, you know, rook c7, rook here, and he didn't, so I'm just a pawn up then. What's happening here? So yeah, this pin is still a bit of an annoyance, so let's go knight d6 and trade this. He might play rook d1. This is very nice for black. I can just play f5, bring the king to e6, and then start to convert this. Yeah, it looks nice. Looks nice. Yeah, so let's take. And knight c4 is a good move here as well. Yeah, do you want to take on e3 is the good question. Rook d5, b5 is nice, but don't get that in at the moment. Yeah. The simple thing is just to take b2, of course. I mean, I don't really see why not. He has the capture on b6, rook a7, but I just go rook c8, and I don't see what happens really. The main thing for white is like the knight on yeah, exactly, the knight was just awfully misplaced, and if you cannot get that into the game, you're just not getting any sort of activity. So going here, I'm threatening f4, trapping the bishop, and he did not do much about it. I have this as a tempo on the knight, so I won a piece. Yeah, and Orest resigns. Thanks for the game. Somehow I won that e4 pawn early on, and that was of course very helpful if you get a big center pawn. Maybe you got somebody in here I haven't played. Trobalov. Vasilios. I misread this first and thought Kotronias, but it is Kotrotsos. Kotrotsos. Let's go. Takes 2 to tango. Why are you hammering? Somebody is hammering. Why do you do that? H4 is strong actually. That shows that he knows something here. We have a holiday, May 1st. Stop hammering. How many pictures can you have on a wall? Stop. Exactly. It's Grandmaster Hammer. So my plan is to play d5. Let's see if I can get it in. I can get it in, so not too bad. Does he have something really? Exactly, it's hammer time. Hey, he's got some ideas here, sure, huh? Let's say, let's do this. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine here. I want to stop h5 for white. Interesting. Got knight g5 and knight c5 coming. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. Yeah, maybe they have furniture from IKEA and they decided to just build that on a holiday. Not a good idea. Try to play actively, yeah? Knight b7, rook b8, e4, knight d4, my idea. Yeah, IKEA is open again, right? So they could have gone there yesterday and then decided, May 1st, that's the day where we finally annoy all the neighbors and build up a whole IKEA kitchen or something like that. I don't think that is really the case, but it's a fun idea. I should try that once. This is actually a very valid point. You rarely need a hammer for IKEA stuff. I'm not happy with what I'm doing here. Maybe this is still equal, but it should be equal. I cannot be worse here. Too well centralized. Now I'm playing for a win. Being the eternal optimist. A5, A4. Yeah, this is a little bit annoying for white. I got this coming. Probably it's very. Let me think about it a little bit. I go. A4. We can take and play King C3. I can get the knight to C4. But can you ever win this position? Probably not. I can, of course, always make a draw. That's not the problem here in this position. You can just make a draw by just sitting, and that's it. I can try to get the knight to D3. Knight B8, C5. But that's not really doing much. Just wait for a moment. I don't think I can try to win here, really. One way to win this is white trying to win, which is not a particularly good idea. The problem is with A4, he will take, and then I cannot move the knight. I can only... Come on, I'm trying something. It's probably wrong, but I just don't want to make a draw. I just say, let's fight. And it could be completely bonkers. I want to go to C4 and then invade with my knight. Getting to the G2 pawn was my idea. Can I get there? Like here? Now here? That was my idea. Maybe it's completely crazy. He can go bishop C3 here, right? And I have no good square. He can go bishop C3, huh? What do I do against that? King C4 maybe? King C4. I can do that. This is the thing. Now what? What I did here is super risky, of course, but it's like a no risk, no fun thing. Okay. The problem is that knight is notoriously bad with dealing with these kind of pawns. King c5. Run. Run. Just have to trade queens. That's totally enough. Yes, I won this one. Hui. That was funky. Hui. Puh. I tried everything to win and somehow it worked out. Bit of a thrill at the end of this session. So I hope you enjoyed it. That was a good game to finish it off. Thanks for the game, Trobalov. In 20-something minutes, 26 minutes, Magnus is doing the Banter Blitz, and if I'm not mistaken, he's using the exact channels that I use. So I have to basically go away, otherwise they will fire me. So thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with the German language show, I think at 2 in the afternoon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.